through 3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
Welcome to the After Show. We usually do this before. We just lie and say it's after.
So
Jim's with us. Michelle's with us.
So remember what happened in hour one? No, it hasn't happened yet, Tom.
No, it has. That's right. Hey, brought to you by Clairvoyant. So there you go.
Your host.
We got folks on hold. We're just going to get to them right away because we don't want to eat up their entire life. Line 4, Barry's with us out of Indiana. Barry, thank you for your patience. What you looking for?
Well, Tom, I've got a Keltec RDB, bullpup style rifle, and I have a hard time finding a case that fits it. And, it's kind of hard to look cool when you pull your rifle out and the end of the case is folded in half.
It just doesn't look right. It's just not. When the case is flopping around, you're going, no, that's just not it. So, all right, first of all, why did you get the bullpup? What is it about that gun you like?
Well, I like the idea of a short rifle with full barrel accuracy, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the fact that the brass ejects down means that there's pretty close to zero chance of getting it in your collar.
Yep. I mean, it's a pretty cool design. Okay, so where have you looked for a case?
Well, I looked at my local gun shops. They have all kinds of rifle cases for regular rifles, but they don't seem to have anything even in a hard case that's reasonably short. And I'd like to get a soft.
You want a soft case?
Yes.
All right, here's the thing. Not a lot of people are buying bullpups. Your local gun store can't stock everything. You're probably not going to find it there. There are, however, a bunch of places that carry them. There's a place online called bullpuparmory.com. There's another one I'm really impressed with called Sneaky Bags. And they're basically bags that don't look like gun cases, which is pretty neat. And they made different lengths. Your bullpup would work in there. And then, believe it or not, you can actually get the case that you're looking for on Amazon, where they have soft cases for bullpup rifles on Amazon.
Okay. Because I kind of have a similar problem with my high point carbine, but I don't keep it in a case. But that's my home defense weapon.
Okay, I'm going to throw out one other idea. It's going to sound really goofy, but if it fits a tennis racket case.
Oh, well, I would have a little bit less attraction than a violin case.
I did not see that coming. You talk about being kind of incognito, the old tennis racket case. Now, unless you're carrying it through a mall where nobody's playing tennis or anything, but still, it's a little bit less intrusive. But there are a lot of cases out there, but chances are you may have to order it. Michelle, you have any thoughts? I mean, this is not something that most stores are going to stock, right?
There's some that do. I mean, what he's really after is like a 30-inch rifle case or a tactical case.
Right.
I think Blackhawk makes them. I think U.S. Peacekeepers. There's several companies that make them, but that's what you have to ask for. And maybe somebody locally can order it for you even. I don't know what their abilities are, but that's the closest case you're going to get.
Right. And if you had a store that was local that was a little bit more on the tactical side, they're probably going to be a little bit more likely to have something like this.
I kind of live in the wilds of Indiana. And,
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Gary?
Like 25 miles.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're right.
But I just have one other question.
Okay.
And that is the pull on the RDB is a little bit short, and I'm wondering, do I have to go back to Keltec to get an extension for the stock?
I don't even know. Do they offer an extension?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, obviously the whole idea of the gun is it's short, so the length of pull is a little short for you. I don't know. Of course, the other thing is I don't know if it's be possible to add some kind of a butt pad to it. I mean, what are you looking for? Maybe another inch?
Yeah, that was my other thought, was adding a butt pad on there.
Yeah, you might do that. I don't know. I mean, it might look goofy, but then again, who cares, really? This is not like a real fancy, nice walnut stock gun. This is just a tool. So, But you know what you might ask them, just say, look, this is what's going on, and they may say, oh yeah, we've got a thing that clips on and you're good to go. And the other thing I would do is I would do an online search, see if anybody else has come up with something.
Well, they make adjustable stocks for them.
Right.
For the Kel-Tec?
For the bullpup, yeah.
Okay.
The RDB doesn't have an adjustable stock.
Ah, okay. So again, I don't know. I haven't done that. I played with the Kel-Tec twice barrel shoot gun. Which is just like more fun than you can have. Oh my gosh, that thing is just crazy fun. But I have not played with that. So, and I do like, just going back to, I do like the idea of the bottom eject, because that's been one of the real issues. Since I shoot from the left shoulder, a lot of the bullpup designs are completely unworkable. If they fling them out of the right side, basically they're throwing brass into the side of my face. But a bottom eject is cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, I didn't really like the 308 top forward ejector.
Mm-hmm.
The 308 is RFD, and
I don't remember.
Throws it out the front, which I thought was kind of.
Oh,
but I like,
kind of weird. But there you go.
Hey Barry, do you get online much?
Sometimes.
Check out bullpupforum.com. I think you get.
Forum.
Yep, I think that would help you.
All right. Well,
that's a good idea. There's your community. Yeah, if you got a community of people who have those, they will have solved all the problems. You're not going to be inventing the wheel again. Good idea.
Good.
Thanks, Jim. Good idea. Yep. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate that. Let's pick up Brad, who's in Cedar City, Utah, a place where I have been, really pretty area, on line 2. Hey, how you doing, Brad?
Good. How you doing, Tom?
I am good. In fact, I got a buddy who's stationed there right now, waiting to fly fires. He does that fire flying deal with tankers each year.
Oh, yeah. This is busy parts here for the firefighters, smoke jumpers, and all those guys. They keep busy.
Cool.
We're all summer long.
Right. How can we help you?
So I've been doing a little bit of studying, and I kind of wanted your opinion on this. And what I've been studying is, if we ever decided to move from Utah to maybe a place like Texas. So what I started studying is obviously out west here, we've got a lot of public land, BLM, Forest Service land. And I'm kind of used to just being able to go out somewhere and taking some guns and doing some target shooting or pretty much having a wide range of areas to hunt. And looking at Texas, I know that a lot of their land is privately owned. So I started looking into that, and I've noticed that hunters either have a land lease agreement with a private landowner, or they'll go to one of the hunting resorts, which are really nice.
Right.
And basically just wanted to do some target shooting. You're basically limited to a range. Overall, I was wondering, do you think that there's a disadvantage or an advantage to any of all this that I've looked into?
Well, it's an interesting question, and you're smart to have looked into that. For my friends who live out west, they really don't understand how there really is very little public land as you move east. Texas is a particularly good example where pretty much all your hunting there is going to be on a hunting lease. It's privately owned land, and you will get together with a hunting club and you'll go lease 10,000 acres or 100,000 acres or something like that. So where you are, as you say, you got millions of acres. You just drive out there and you can enjoy. You can hunt, you can shoot. That is not the case there. And when you get back to Texas or a lot of other states, you will have to go to a shooting range to shoot because there's very little public land available. And what is, they may have restrictions where you can't just go shoot there the way you can in Utah. As far as advantages, one or the other, I mean, some people say, well, yeah, there shouldn't be such thing as public land. The government shouldn't own land. Well, I don't agree with you. I think there's a real advantage to the people of having public land. In the advantage of a private lease is that you have it to yourself. You have paid for it. You put up gates. Nobody else can hunt there, and you know who's going to be hunting around you. The disadvantage is you're going to pay a lot of money for it, and they're not cheap, and the good ones go for a lot of money. So just kind of there you are. So if you're thinking as you're looking at a place to relocate, you may want to make that one of the factors you consider.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, because that's basically about 1/5 of my whole consideration of it is the ease of being able to go out, on a whim and shoot. And Yeah, it looks like, especially if we go to Dallas-Fort Worth, there won't be really much of a whim to it. I'll have to basically plan the day out, drive out to a place where I'm a member of a club to do some shooting, something like that.
That's exactly what you'd have to. You'd have to belong to a club. If you want to do long-range shooting, you have to find a place where they have that, because you can't just go stop somewhere on a dirt road and shoot. That's not doable. You could do that once before the police arrive. So, but yeah, I understand. I mean, we get spoiled out here in the West. I mean, I'm sitting out here in Idaho right now, and I got 1 million acres as my backyard. So that's kind of a nice thing. So there you go. Hey, look, Brad, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're considering it, because rather than move back there and get surprised. Thank you, sir. Tell you what, let's take a quick break here, and we'll come back, and we've got some serious things and some not at all serious things to talk about. Be right back.
When the U.S. military's elite units and law enforcement agencies across the globe demanded innovation and reliability, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. When world champion professional shooters demanded precision accuracy, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. So it's no surprise more and more civilian gun owners are refusing to settle for anything less. They're choosing Sig Sauer firearms, ammunition, electro-optics, suppressors, air guns, and training. Sig Sauer. Never settle.
Tired of searching the web for the best deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gun Dealio app today for deals and discounts right at your fingertips. Handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammo, optics, lasers, gun safes, targets, gun cleaners, grips, slings, and much, much more. Save money on products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gun Dealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
Oh, the wonderful things we do during the break that we can't talk about. So, Michelle, how's your week?
Busy. How about yours?
Busy?
Yeah.
Busy?
You guys always busy. There's lots of things to do. Lots of things going.
Yeah? Like what?
Oh, just things. Just life. Just life being busy.
Okay. It's not like particularly shooting things. Just life gets in the way of shooting sometimes,
It does. You had that conversation earlier. Yeah. This is terrible if you want it to be your hobby.
Yeah, it is. There was a local tackle shop was for sale. We saw the signs, and somebody said, "Yeah, you could buy that, and that way you never get to go fishing again."
It's so true. You don't have the time.
It is. I mean, can't tell you how many people have told me, yeah, I got into the gun business because I really like to shoot. I hardly ever go shooting anymore.
Oh, it's kind of
I know.
It's invigorating when you get out there on the range. Like, we need to do that more often. Like,
you go, this is why people do this. Yeah. It's fun.
I remember that thing called fun.
Yeah, This is really good. Oh, Lord.
Oh, we love what we do. That's all you can say.
Without a doubt. We did. Well, I got to travel a little bit this week. I went over to Oregon and then to Washington State. So I was in Oregon one night in Prineville near Bend, beautiful area, and then over in the Seattle, Tacoma, Gig Harbor area. And I was reminded as I went over to Oregon, it does not honor any state's carry permits. No reciprocity at all. So there you go. So I just had to make sure that the people I were with were Oregons who had permits who could carry.
There you go.
Because, of course, I would never do anything I'm not supposed to do.
And that they would have your back, right?
That's true. It's a good point. So do they like me?
Will they fight for me?
That's right. Or are they just going to say, "You're on your own, sucker"?
Can you open carry there?
I don't know. I need to find out. It's a good question, though. Could I carry my AR around with me? That would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the mall. Big hit.
In your racket case, though, yes.
Yeah, I always want to get a Tommy gun case and put a violin in it, just to mess with people. Show up to the gun range. I grabbed the wrong case.
Nice.
Exactly. I got to go look up, handgunlaw.us. .us, yeah. That's where I go for that kind of stuff.
So, yeah,
and I go click on Oregon.
So people understand you can't even go into the state with something and leave it in the vehicle. It's illegal.
Oregon does not honor any other state permits, licenses. Let's see if it has anything on open carry.
See, we thought you went there just because your blood pressure was so low, you wanted to kind of spike it up and go to Oregon.
Yeah,
Washington,
no kidding. Let's just ramp it up a little bit.
Sit in the legislature. Yeah.
This is really a good website. You know, I use handgunlaw.us a lot when I'm traveling. Find out, and mostly, you know, even when you find out, okay, yes, my permit's good there, then you scroll down and it says, okay, here's the laws in this state. Can you carry in a restaurant that serves alcohol? Can you carry here? You know, where are the off limits?
Yeah, detailed.
Do you have to notify an officer in case you get stopped, like a traffic stop, that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Good information.
Good info. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's really good because just because you know the law where you are doesn't mean that any of that applies where you travel, right?
Right.
So true.
So do you want a drum roll for your answer here about open carry, or don't they have that?
Let's see, open carry is legal, but the state gave local governments the right to adopt laws and ordinances on carrying loaded firearms by those without a permit license to carry. Some cities and towns have adopted such laws and ordinance, yada, yada. So, yes, there is open carry in Oregon, but you kind of have to check it out and find out where you are, if they have any local regs, it looks like.
Wow.
So you have to go under your city regs. And
Which
is
wow.
A load of crap.
And then as you drive around from city to city, the laws change.
Right.
Felon, not a felon. Felon, not a felon.
So much work to
that's
stay
why
safe.
Why we need preemption, exactly.
Yes.
So there it is. Oh, well. So, let's see. I mentioned I was getting a new rifle, and I just heard from them it says maybe not.
Oh.
So we'll see. They're having trouble manufacturing. It's a brand new one, and they're saying we're having some troubles with
your
some
background
issues
check, Mr. Gresham.
That's true.
You have too many.
I'm sorry. We were notified by the feds. You were not allowed to sell you a gun.
Yeah, right.
Oh my.
What are you?
So we'll see. So the hunt goes on.
What are you trying to get?
A lefty bolt.
Lefty bolt. I specifically do not want a detachable magazine. Not a real fan of detachable magazines in my hunting rifles. So a swing-away floor plate or even a blind magazine where you have to actually work the bolt to take the ammo out, I would be okay with that. Trying to simplify magazines. Boy, I've had a lot of gun makers tell me, look, it's a lot harder to design a good magazine than it is a rifle. And I have found that to be true. Now, the AR magazines work great, but when you get into some other, particularly new guns that have detachable magazines, that often is a weak area.
Well, there's so many variables.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and is it reliable? Is it rugged? Will it feed? It has springs. Or talk about failure points. It goes on and on. So anyway, trying to simplify, I'd like to get a lightweight left-handed bolt action in a moderate caliber, 6.5 Creedmoor-ish, in that ballpark. Having said all of that, I, of course, already own some of those, but I just was kind of looking for something new and different. So we'll see. You know, it's kind of one of those. Don't have to. I can use what I have. I have a 257 Roberts that qualifies on all those counts. It's not the most accurate, but, you know, it's a 1.5-inch rifle. You know, and my friends who are the real shooters, they go, well, I would never hunt with something like that. And go, yeah, well, I don't know. Everything I shot with it fell down, so what can I tell you?
So you're looking for something outside of the box of like a Savage or something like that?
Not necessarily. I mean, if I could find a Savage, but they all have detachable magazines. Well, most of them do. You know, I grew up on Remington 700s with either a swing away or a blind box. What was it? ADL and BDL, right?
Yep.
The ADL had a blind box and the BDL had a floor plate, swing away floor plate. Yep. Either of those would work. I could certainly do that. Lord knows I have several. I think I've got a BDL in 30-06 and maybe one in 243. You know, both of them been known to kill a deer, that's for sure. So I don't know. I'm just kind of poking around. But now I'm looking at the calendar and going, okay, deer season is October, and we're almost to August, so it's time to get moving here.
What about rebarreling one you already have?
Yeah, could certainly do that. I've done it before. I took a 375 H&H and put what did we do with that? 416, made a 416 out of it. We could take a 30-06 and, you know what, it would be fun. Ooh, now you got me thinking. Okay, Could take the 30-06 and make it a 280 Ackley improved.
You're gonna make your own ammo?
Yeah. Actually, you can buy factory ammo.
Yes, it's like limited runs, though, isn't it?
I think there's a couple outfits that, no, you know what, Nosler's loading it regularly now.
Oh, okay.
And some others are. So, I mean, so you can get good ammo. And, you know, is the improved any better, much better than the regular 280? It's 150 feet per second more. It's like, doesn't really matter, but it's just kind of cool to have the Ackley improved. And it's one of the great calibers. And by doing all of that, I could actually completely duplicate the 7M M08 I used last year.
To go through all that effort.
You'd be using the same bullet, going the same speed, and you went all through all that. Oh, yeah, and that other was already sighted in, so I could use that this year. So,
Send the money to the NRA.
No. Not yet.
It's hard for lefties.
It is. I actually was giving some thought to going with a Ruger number 1.
I was going to ask you about that because I know you like that style. It's a very traditional look, but they're out there.
I have one in 257 Roberts, and I have one in 7mm Mauser. Either of which would work fabulously. Yeah, I may go back to that idea. I played with that, and I actually talked myself out of it, thinking, well, but if you need a follow-up shot, and you go, yeah, you know what? You can learn to load those pretty quickly if you have the ammo on a holder on the stock,
Yep.
Well, they're single shots.
Doesn't take long. Yes, they're single shots, bottom lever. They're wonderful rifles.
They're beautiful.
They're just
pieces.
incredibly strong.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, it's a Ruger,
gorgeous.
so saying incredibly strong is kind of redundant.
That's true. It's like, last week when John Linebaugh was talking about it, he says, you can't blow up a single action Ruger. He said, we actually have, but in terms of most people, unless you're really trying, they're just so strong.
Right. He's pushing, yes.
He's going over Sammy just to prove a point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
almost double.
They take him up to the point where they say, we are going to blow this gun up. We just need to find out where that is.
This
Otherwise,
is
how
going to
do we
hurt
know?
their wrist.
Oh, no. We're going to put this in a rest, and we're going to pull the trigger with a long string. That's what we're going to do.
Yep.
I'm not going to be anywhere close to this thing when it happens. Oh, boy. But, I'll tell you what, we'll take a break. I want to come back. I want to tell you about my war on gophers. Because I'm about to wage war on these little burrowing son of a guns. So there's that.
Keep cool this summer in Proper Summer Weight Collection. Made from our lightest material ever, the durable, moisture-wicking Summer Weight Collection from Proper beats the heat on duty, on the range, and around town. Designed to keep you cool when the world around you heats up. Visit Proper.com to learn more about the super breathable, super lightweight shirts, pants, and shorts of the Summer Weight Collection from Proper.
Want to win a gun? Hey, this is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway. This month, enter to win one of 2 new guns from Sig Sauer, the P320 X5 Legion with 3 17-round magazines, or the P365 XL X Series with 2 12-round mags, both in 9mm. Enter now through August 2nd at guntalk.com/win. That's guntalk.com/win.
So, burrowing animals, little critters, make big holes. And all around our place here in Idaho, we have, and I haven't quite figured it out because we have ground squirrels, and that's not the, I mean, we have chipmunks, we have ground squirrels, and then we've got, I don't know if they're gophers or they're actually prairie dogs. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But they're about 6 to 8 inches long. Just body size. So, but man, they burrow a lot. And a lot of the neighbors are using air guns to take them out, which I'm a fan. I mean,
good application.
one neighbor saying, he says, but the problem is, he said, I ran out of air and I got to find a place to recharge my gun. 'Cause those, those ones you got to have like a scuba tank or something to hook up to it.
Right.
I said, we solved that problem a while back. We call it the 22 rimfire. And a suppressor.
So they're leaving holes in your property, and you're obliged to leave holes in them.
Well, yes, it seems only fair. Not just in the property, but, we have a little airstrip here, a little grass airstrip.
Oh,
well, they're making holes in the airstrip.
Yeah, you don't want bumps.
We don't want holes that a tire can drop into. Mm-hmm. And so now it becomes more serious. So two ways to go on the 22. One is obviously with a suppressor, but the other, which is that crazy subsonic ammo that different companies are making, the CB Longs, the Aguila has they've got a couple of different subsonic loads that are, like crazy quiet. Even without a suppressor, they're crazy quiet.
Is it Cobra? Yeah.
Colibri.
Colibri.
Yep, Colibri. Thank you. I was trying to remember. Yeah, Colibri. They got the Colibri and the Super Colibri. One is like 550 feet per second. The other's about 700. But both of them out of a longish, like a 22-inch rifle barrel, because the powder is burnt by the time the thing's gone about 10 inches. And so by the time it all goes out the barrel, it's kind of like there's almost nothing to it. It sounds like you're using a suppressor, but you're not. So that's an option too. So we're exploring these. But yeah, I was out there the other day, and one of my neighbors comes by. I was out actually fishing. He comes by on the shoreline in his little four-wheeler, and I see a rifle barrel sticking out. And I'm going, yeah, he's on gopher patrol. I know what's going on here. We're going to take care of this problem.
So I'm thinking you need to come up with a dog, Tom. Like the dog could, hunt these gophers or whatever the varmint happens to be. Plus, you could probably take the dog to Oregon.
This is... As long as it's not concealed.
Yeah. Try to find a holster, though. Don't
get a pocket pup, but
concealed lab.
That's right, a concealed lab. There you go. So, all right, so you guys will love this. I'm working yesterday in the garage, doing some work there. I got my back to the door. I got the garage door open. I hear this floppity, floppity, floppity sound. I'm going, what is that? I kind of have a hint of what it might be. I turn around, and sure enough, it is like a 6-month-old lab puppy.
Aww.
And it's just jumping up and down and flopping around and having such a good old time. So I thought, well, I'm going to go find out who he belongs to, but first I'm going to play with him.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we've had labs for a long time.
They're the best.
So we had a great old time. And of course, you get the typical puppy bites, the sharp teeth, the whole deal, and he's grabbing onto you. And we had a great time. Then I went and found his home and brought him home, and but that was just such fun. Is there anything cuter than a lab puppy? I swear.
They're adorable.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And they're loyal.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about labs, but everyone we've ever had always wanted to be touching you when you're at home. Like laying down, it'll come over and lay on your foot.
Right, you go to the fridge to get a drink or something, and they have to follow you.
They lean against you. Mm-hmm. It's like they just want to have that contact.
Do they ever do the leg weave? My lab does that. She weaves in and out figure 8. Between your
really?
legs.
No, I never had one that did that.
Yeah, it's like, pet me, touch me, play with me. I'm going to let myself be known if you don't.
So we have
mine were so big they would knock you over if they did that.
So we have a black lab that insists on being in between my husband and I. So if we're standing next to each other or in front of one another,
the wedge
right in between us, like she will break in between us. Sit there.
Says, move over.
It's about me, not about you.
Exactly. Dogs rule.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Oh, great companions.
Yep. Well, spinning dogs into gun talk, when you have a puppy, if you're going to have a hunting dog, one of the problems that people have is they get dogs that are gun shy. They're no good for hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And way back, a guy that wrote Gun Dog, Richard Walters, it's a seminal work on training dogs, he would get a cat pistol, and while somebody was feeding the puppy, he would be in the next room and shoot the cat pistol off several times. And then gradually move it in so that it associated the enjoyment of eating, with the sound of gunfire. I thought, that's pretty smart. And then he never had any gun-shy dogs.
Right. The lab that we have has been hunting for a long time, and she's terrible. We get out a rifle, like, where are we going? Head to the backyard, head to the truck. Where are we going?
Yep, just jumping up and down, and down. That's right. We're going to go hunting. We're going to go hunting.
That's right. And she's so funny because if you're taking your time, she will actually stand there and clack her teeth at us. Like, come, let's go. It's so funny. I videoed it because I'm like, it is obnoxious. Oh man, loves to get it.
I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about the lab we had when we were out duck hunting one time, and these ducks were circling. Of course, and the dogs are watching the birds circle, right? They're circling and circling. Finally, they come in over the decoys, and we jump up and it's bang, 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 bang. Absolutely nothing falls. Nothing. I mean, we didn't scratch a feather. And this lab looks at the birds flying away, and then he rears back his head and just howls. Just this mournful wail. It was the most pitiful thing, and also the ultimate put down of, I'm here to do my job. What are you guys doing
How'd
here?
You let me down?
Human losers.
I'm stuck here in this blind.
Oh, my. We just, talk about laughing. Holy cow, that was hilarious.
Oh, my.
Do love them, though.
But they love to bring trophies home. Mine goes to the pond next door and goes out running. She comes home, she got a little bass in her mouth or a catfish or something.
No, a fish?
Yeah, she doesn't chew through them. She just brings them home.
Just retrieves them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, she's cool.
What's for dinner? I don't know. The dog hadn't come back yet.
Yeah, we just sent her out.
Wait for it.
Fire up the grill, though. She's pretty consistent.
That's right. There you go. Oh, goodness. Well, I had to finally make my statement about the NRA. Yeah. Just one of those things, you kind of go, all right. I've been reluctant, hoping, you keep thinking, it can't be this messed up. And then finally you realize, it really is. It is this messed up. And while this isn't going to fix it, it's going to take a while. And it's going to get chopped down. It's going to take a huge beating. But it should be, I hope, strong enough to come back, but not with its current leadership.
No.
So I had to say something.
I'm sure you guys get the mailers too. I actually take the time every time to respond to every plea for money. So I'm not giving you a dime till Wayne's gone. Please forward this to Wayne. Have him call me. I go on and on because I'm pissed.
I understand. I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And the problem is a lot of people still don't know about it. They haven't really paid attention, or maybe all they are hearing is from the NRA. But that's changing. People are waking up. People are understanding what's going on. And they're, you hate to say, geez, don't give money to the NRA when we've always said support the NRA. But I don't know of another leverage point. And you got to find some kind of leverage to make something happen, to evoke change. Right. It's all I have. I wish I had something else I could tell people you can do this, but that's the only thing I know to do.
Well, have you heard about the raid on Area 51?
Oh, I heard something about like a bunch of people signed up.
400,000 people to raid in August or September. Or something. I think what we do is put Wayne in front of them all. He's in charge. Put him in charge of that. Go ahead and rush the compound. Let us know how that works out for you.
This is from the people who always say, well, they can't arrest us all. Well, actually, they don't really have to. After they've arrested the first 300 or 400 of you and put you into paddy wagons, and they've, maced and pepper sprayed and gassed the rest of you, you'll end up leaving. Oh yeah, and when they charge you, it's going to be a really serious charge.
Oh sure. They say, well, they can't get all of us. Are you familiar with an A-10 Warthog? Yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They'll get them with the airplanes that don't exist, right?
Right.
Because it's Area 51. Right. Complete deniability.
Never saw it coming.
Airplane exists.
Never saw it coming. Well, that makes about as much sense as the bylaws for the NRA being copyrighted. Therefore, they can't let anybody read them. What a crock of stuff. I thought you were pulling my leg earlier.
Yeah,
it's
just goes
so
on
stupid.
And on. Well, and yet it makes perfect sense if you want to be in control and not have people be able to use the bylaws to affect change. It's and right now, if you're paying attention to what's going on, several board members over the last week have posted, I have now been removed from the committees because I asked the hard questions.
Sure.
And I'm calling for financial responsibility, and I'm being purged. I'm being, basically moved aside. And, somebody else told me, says, well, look, that's the way it's done. That's how this game is played. I said, I understand that until you find some form of leverage to stop it.
Yeah, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. That's it. And so unless the board takes action as a whole and says, okay, that's it, we're done, we're fixing this, it will continue, or unless the members just say, that's it, we're going to turn off the spigot. It's done. Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of people are going to end up quitting NRA, dropping out, and may not come back. And that's one of the real worrisome parts, that and the fact that we lose the effectiveness through this election.
Exactly.
Which is horrible.
Right. And that's really where my fear looks at. It's like, okay, if they do come back, there's going to be a giant trust issue before people just start spending money.
Understandably.
And they've already sent in like their, memberships happen all the time. But I'm just saying, for the most part, those of us that have had lifetime memberships, my money's been spent.
Right.
I mean, it's the yearly people.
Do you know if they have auto renew? Because a lot of people, I've joined things and then a year later,
I think they do.
Hey, you had $150 taken out of your account for such and such. I'm like, I forgot to shut that off.
I forgot about that.
It might be worth checking into
if
you have a membership. Might be worth sniffing into.
Yep. And of course, one other thing is, the $25 donations don't get their attention so much, but some of the big donors, it's my understanding, are saying, okay, guys, fix it. I mean, we're talking about the people that drop $1 million on them, that kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And when those people start speaking, the voices get heard.
Right. But you're right. The concern is that those numbers go down and then there is no voice.
Right. Which is why, in order for us to continue to be effective, we all have to transfer that loyalty, that attention, that activism to something else. So it's not, you don't just drop out.
Right.
You just find another place to be active.
Move the fight. Yeah.
Yep, exactly right. So as we have more news about it, I will keep putting it. I've been throwing them up on Twitter. So if anybody really wants to follow this and know what's going on, I am at Gun Talk on Twitter. That's my primary deal. Although I am going to go look at this Parler that one of our listeners told me about. I had not heard of that, but I'll go see what there is to it. Might as well.
Thanks, Tom Cutting Edge Gresham.
That's right.
You are.
We're going to use this. I'm going to go sign up for MySpace.
Shouldn't have to wait long in line.
Is that public or private?
Yeah, it'll be both of us will be there.
Go under the name T. Gresham. Nobody will figure it out.
That's right. I'll be stealthy.
Fight the good fight, brother.
All righty. You guys have a good week. We'll be doing it again. Let's see. I've got one more from up here in Idaho. Maybe two. We'll figure it out. And then it's back to the lands of the swamps and the hurricanes.
Yeah. Hope everybody there's safe.
Get my water wings out.
Well, you had to tolerate Barry for 8 years. Now you just have to weather a storm with it.
I kept waiting for people to do that with the Hurricane Barry and Obama. That would have been perfect. All right, you guys take care. We'll do it next week.
Be safe, buddy.
Bye.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.